Hi, this is Dr. Stewart. I'll be teaching the online pathophysiology course this semester. A comment about the topic itself. Anatomy teaches you where everything is. Physiology teaches you how it works. And pathophysiology teaches you what changes when disease is involved. Patho meaning disease. Many students who go into the nursing program, or I have students that are physician's assistants, even have gone to medical school, and they say that this patho course puts everything together. It takes the anatomy and the physiology and the biochemistry and whatever else and puts it together into medical terms that make sense and are especially helpful when you move into the next level of your program. So, pay attention, work hard, don't just do the minimum to get through the course, because understanding these topics and how they work is really going to serve you well as you move forward. We'll be discussing disease states such as cancer, allergies, and things like that. We'll also discuss some of the more common treatments. We'll cover a good number of the most common disease states that affect the different body systems. This is a 4 credit hour class, so it's plenty of work to do. It's certainly not overwhelming. It does not have a separate lab, so it's 4 hours per week of lecture and exercises and the like. There'll be 2 sessions a week of about 2 hours each. The sessions, you can do them anytime you want. It's a totally online course. Just be sure that you complete all of the material during the week in which it's assigned, whether it's tests, discussions, exercises, videos, and whatnot. The sessions will consist of video lectures. Each session will have either one substantial one or sometimes 2 shorter ones per session. So you could have anywhere from 2 to 4 videos per week to do. The videos are, a couple of them are like this, where I'm down in the corner and you have a PowerPoint or something up on the screen. Many of them, most of them, I actually recorded in the classroom. They're not, professional recordings. They're just pretty much like if you were sitting in the classroom listening to me lecture on the topic. The lectures are the same material you would get if this were a live class. So you'll have your videos that you'll listen to. You will have PowerPoints that I have prepared that go along with those videos. You don't necessarily have to have the PowerPoint up separately, because I'll have the PowerPoint up on the screen. Unless your screen is so small you can't see it very well, you might want the PowerPoint up separately. But usually people can just watch the video as I go over the PowerPoints. Then I have a set of practice questions for each topic to help you prepare for your tests. And then anytime we finish a section like cancer, the heart, things like that, we will have a quiz or short test. They can run anywhere from maybe 15 or 16 questions up to 25 or 28 questions, depending on how much material we covered in that section. Most of those tests seem to be pretty doable for the students, but they will make up a large portion of your grade. We'll have the block tests that go along with each section. Let's go and look at UnmLearn here. I know that you've used UnmLearn by this time, but just to be sure, you go to myunm.edu and you log in over here, and then here's your UNM email, which you'll want to really watch carefully, because I can't send email to your personal email, so if I send you something, it's likely to wind up there. Here is the UnmLearn, the little guy with the mortarboard on his head. You'll click on that, and all of your courses will come up that you're eligible to take. And this is HCHS 200-800. and then it'll be the semester that is coming up. This semester it happens to be spring 2022, but if it's a future semester, you'd pick a different one. So you pick that, you click on it, and it comes up. I have it set up to come up to your home page. You can always get back to the home page by going to the little home up here, or course home page right here. Sometimes you'll get stuck on a different page and you might have a hard time getting back to where you want to be. Here is this video that I'm showing you right now. So if you ever need to watch it again to get some information or whatever, there it is. Here's the syllabus. I have some tips for taking medical tests in general, which these are. Medical tests are slightly different for preparation than some of the other tests you might have taken. Here's a link to the Evolve Elsevier site, which is your book. I'll talk about that later when we talk about the book. And then I have the course set up into weeks. Every week you'll go through here, and if it's the first week, you'll click on week 1. And then what comes up is, here's what to do in week 1. All the things are here. However, this is a checklist to make sure you haven't forgotten something. You'll watch your video, and you'll have a PowerPoint that goes along with it. In this case, you have a second video and then another PowerPoint to go with that. And then you have some practice questions that will go with those topics. And then the second session, you'll do the same thing. You'll have a video and a PowerPoint. You'll have a video and a PowerPoint, and then you'll have some practice questions. Many times, you will finish a topic in that week. You'll have a quiz. You also, here's a quiz. We'll also have a discussion every section, every week, every section, and this is really important. We'll talk about that later. Now these videos, I've tried to eliminate it, but some of them, I put them on YouTube. Some of them come up with commercials. That's not my doing. YouTube puts them on there automatically. I'm trying to eliminate all those, but if you get to one that starts off with ads, it's just like any other one. You either have to wait till the ad's over, or sometimes it'll say skip ads, and you click on that, and then you can actually watch the lecture. You can go back and forth and re-listen to parts of the lecture as much as you like. So in some ways, that's actually an advantage compared to a live class. I like the live class because we get to discuss things so much. And that's where this discussion is going to come in. Now, every week, as I say, there will be a discussion, and it's a required part of the course. This is what we would be doing in the live class. I don't just talk in the live class. We discuss these topics so we can see them from a variety of different directions. People can ask questions, comment on each other's topics. And this is really critical. Many students say that the discussion, they learn as much or more from the discussion as they learn from the whole rest of the course. And it depends on how into it you get as to how much we'll get out of it. They usually get better and better as we go along. You click on the discussion, it pops up, and you'll see, use this for week 1, and you just hit reply and put your topic in, or your comments. And then somebody else can reply and comment again, or comment, based on what you said, and we keep that thread going until we run out of that topic, and then we go on to the next one. Okay, so let's go back up here. We're going to go to the home page. I'm going to go to the syllabus. We'll look at this. Okay, comes up looking a little funny, but that's okay. I don't care as long as everything's there. Here we have HCHS 200, 800. In this case, this semester happens to be spring 22. Here's my contact information, jimsaba@unm.edu. The main way you'll contact me is through the UNM discussion or the site over here. If you want to email me, you can email me there. If you have to email me separately, go to jimsaba@unm.edu and you'll find me that way. The textbook, Understanding Pathophysiology, 7th edition, Huther and McCants. Now this book is available online from Evolve Elsevier. Remember, I put the link there. You can click on it, set up an account, get the book, get all of the resources, and all of that wonderful stuff that goes along with it. A lot of people like to do that. I don't do assignments directly out of the book. So you don't have to do that. That's optional. Many people buy a paper copy of the book used and do just fine in the course. The book is really dense. It has a ton of information. You'll probably want to keep it as a reference book afterward. And it'll help you in your nursing program too, because pathophysiology is what it's all about. So it's your choice whether you want to buy a used copy. Even the 6th edition will probably work, although the information's changed a little bit and maybe the order of the chapters might have changed a little bit. I don't know. That's, neither here nor there. But that's your choice. You're expected to do the material in the week in which it's assigned and stick up with it, stay up with it. You're expected to participate every week in that discussion section. And let me talk about that discussion. It's such an important part of the course. This discussion allows us to look at the material from a variety of different directions. It allows us to update material, because even if I did a recent video lecture, pathology and medicine changes quite a bit. And so some of our new stuff will be on the discussion site, especially as we talk about COVID-19 and the latest vaccines and things like that. We'll want to go into more depth in the discussion. Here we have the grading section. We have 12 short tests, maybe 13. Sometimes I add a 13th, and other times that last material just goes on the final exam. They will make up 70% of your grade. The final exam, comprehensive final exam, 20% of your grade. That's big. It's kind of difficult because it covers the entire course. The discussion, 10% of your grade. Now that's the difference between, of course, an A and a B, or a B and a C, or passing and failing. So it's important to participate regularly in the discussion. Some of these topics may wind up on a test, especially on the final. If it's new material that we really work on, you need to pay attention, because that may wind up on a test or the final exam. And furthermore, if you do a really good job, this is the one place that I can give you extra credit. I do occasionally give extra credit for somebody that really digs in and does a great job on the discussion. Now for the discussion, don't say something like, "This was really a great chapter, I really enjoyed it." Or, "Man, the heart really is interesting. It's amazing how hard it works." Those things could be said by anybody who's never even taken the course. I want you to respond, to tell me something about the material we covered, ask a good question about the material we covered. You don't have to be right. You just have to expand the discussion. And what I really want you to do is respond to each other's questions and comments. A lot of time people get into experiences that a friend of theirs had with diabetes or something, and the treatments that they got and whether they worked or not. Don't use names because we want privacy, issues to be maintained. But if you have some knowledge, if you're working as a CNA or something in a health setting, and you've seen some of these conditions and what is happening to the people and how they're being treated, those are really good topics for discussion. Another thing might be something like, how do the new mRNA vaccines work? What makes them different from the old style vaccines that we've had all this time? So once you do all of that stuff, then you have your grades. I do give pluses. UNM allows me to give a plus. I don't give a minus. If you make a 90, you get an A. You don't get an A minus. But if you make 96 or above, you make an A plus, a B plus, a C plus, and so forth. And, that can come in handy if you're trying to get in a program that's pretty competitive. All right. So here we have the course outline. Oops, that says spring 2021. We're doing 2022 right now, so that's fine. Don't worry about that. Here we have the sessions, session 1 and session 2 in week 1. In week 2, we have sessions 3 and 4. These are the topics. These are the chapters. These are the PowerPoints. These can change a little bit, especially if the book is slightly different, but it'll be pretty easy to find the chapter on adaptive immunity. If it happens to be in the book you have chapter 4 or chapter 6, that's okay. You can find, the right topic. We will stick with these topics pretty well. Occasionally we have to push one into the next class period because it goes long, or maybe we can even start the next class period early. Spring break, there will be no assignments. And then the final exam in week 16, the only thing is the final exam. That's exam week, the comprehensive final exam you'll take. All of the tests you take online. Here's quiz 1. It's in week 1, so you'll be taking quiz 1. These quizzes, or short tests, are online. You just click on it. It should start. They're timed. All of your medical tests through the rest of your life will be timed computer tests. Now, in nursing or medical programs, they have other kinds of tests too that are physical skill tests. But generally, you've got to get good at taking timed computer tests. Now, these are real tests. You don't get to sit with your book and your cell phone trying to find answers. You need to know this material to do well in the future anyway. Please don't, try to take them together or, use your book or something. I can almost always tell if somebody's doing that. And I can set it up so that we use a proctoring software that watches you like Big Brother through your computer and tells me if you're doing anything dire. Much better, just take the test in the time that it's allotted and be done with it. 72 seconds per question is typical for a 5-answer multiple choice question. My multiple choice questions for this course generally have 4 answers, so that's a little easier for you. And I usually give you more like 75 seconds instead of 72 to make it, just ease it up a little bit. But still, it's really important to practice taking tests at the speed you're supposed to take them. I'll give you a little bit more time for quiz 1, and I will give you 2 tries to take quiz 1. So you can get used to the timing and what it feels like and the little extra pressure that comes with that, that test strategy. And read my little blog I put up there on how to take a medical test. It'll really help you get through the test with time left over to go back and look at an answer that was a little bit hard for you if you really need to. Generally speaking, the tests, they're often at the end of the week, but not always. Sometimes the topic will finish up in that first lecture of the week, and you have the quiz then before you go on to the second lecture. And then maybe that will be tested in the following week. If the quiz is after the first lecture of the week, I generally give you Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday as a time frame so you can take that test in that first half of the week. As if most of the tests, as they are at the end of the week, I generally give you Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So you have a 3-day window to find time to take the test. Don't wait to the last second at 10 o'clock on Saturday night to take a test that's going to shut down at midnight. Everybody has something happen. Your computer crashes. Your dog gets run over by a minibus. You get sick. Somebody in your family gets sick. It happens to almost everybody every semester that something comes up. Take the test early enough that you have a backup plan. Use that Saturday night as your backup if you haven't already taken it earlier in the week. That's really, really, really important. Okay. Communication. I will communicate with you by announcements, and they're pretty frequent. Almost every week I'll announce something. It'll be to tell you that a test is now available, that a test is going to be delayed, that people are having problems with this test, and therefore you should approach it this way or that way. Hurry up with your discussions. There's a really important discussion up, something like that. And don't miss out on doing something because you didn't check your announcements. Announcements, and you can set it up so anything that I put up there goes to your UNM email. And that way you can check your UNM email regularly, and if the announcements are there, you can either read them there, or you can go read it. You can even set up your UNM email to forward your emails to your personal email. That's what I do. Because I check my personal email more than I check my UNM email. I check the UN email usually once a day, and I check my personal email probably 3 times a day. And therefore, if something from UNM comes through personal, then I go to the UNM site and deal with it there. Because you can't send me stuff from your personal email, and I can't send you stuff from mine. And so therefore, once you're aware that there's something you need to do, you can go to the UNM site and do something about it. So please check your discussions. Please check your UNM email religiously, and just get in the habit of that, and you won't miss out on anything. So again, contact me through the UnmLearn site, and if you have to, just contact me at jimsaba@unm.edu. Usually, a few people will have a few problems at the beginning of the semester, either getting the Evolve site to work if they're using that, getting one of the tests to work properly, or something. Or your announcement, you didn't know where to find it, we'll work on it. Just stay up with it and email me if you have a problem early on, and we'll solve it quickly. By the 3rd or 4th week, everything should be running smoothly, and I think you're really going to enjoy the course. So, welcome to Pathophysiology, and let's have a good semester.